Hello, everyone. Happy Thursday. Cyril, how you doing, my man?
I'm doing all right, man. How you doing today?
Doing pretty good, brother. Just trying to keep up with everything going on. It's getting crazy, man.
Yeah, the markets have been struggling a little bit. We're still in that range that I was talking about last episode. We're at the lower end of the range right now. So, hey, maybe a good time to top up a little bit, but we'll see.
Go. Blue light special, buddy. I'm all over it. As you can tell, my orb is doing that. See, it's flashing blue lights. There you go. So I want to say, hey, X8 Taylor, good to have you with us, brother. Wild Angel, good to see you there. Rooster, my man. And of course, Cyril Keir's here too. Hey, I know that guy. And Bass Cryptos, good to have you, brother. So, Cyril, now, there's been a lot of things kind of in the background, but they're not on the main news. Now, that's really frustrating for me. Like I just read an article today, and I want to share that with you guys because we have talked about adoption and use case are absolutely huge. That's what's going to, mainstream cryptocurrency. And so you'd think that, Channel 7 News or somebody would be talking about it. Nobody is talking about it. What the hell? So I want to share this article with you real quick here, guys. So they're talking about right now, the Swift is launching their second phase of CBDC interoperability testing. Now, for those who don't know, CBDC stands for, oh my God, I just drew a blank.
Central Bank Digital Currency.
Thank you. I just lost that. So right now, and the Swift system, if you don't know what that is, you go in and do a money grant. You're going to send somebody money from here in the U.S. over to United Kingdom. You walk in, you pay like an outrageous fee, and you wait 5 to 7 days. It's just stupid. That's what the Swift system is. It's an old, antiquated system to send money from bank to bank. Well, they're trying to put it on using digital currency on the blockchain. That's a huge step forward for adoption, for use case, for everything. And of course, nobody's talking about it. Why is that, sir? Why do you think they're keeping this quiet, buddy?
Well, they like to position themselves beforehand. It's the same reason why the news outlets didn't start reporting on the housing crisis until after the banks had already loaded up on their short positions against the mortgage-backed securities, right? They're going to make sure they're in the best position possible to benefit before it starts becoming mainstream news.
Gotcha. Okay, so all the people in power, they're going to get all their piece of the pie. They're going to be sit there waiting at the dinner table. It's like, okay, let the rest of the peasants in to have fun. Right. It's great to be a peasant.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah. Hey, Chrome, good to have you with us, brother. And BTK, my man, good to see you here. This is Rue is here. Woo! Yeah. And hello, Chrome and Wild. Yeah. We got a full house. This is great, guys. So, now, something else I'm saying, I'm still seeing a lot of coins pop up, a lot of things like that, and I'm seeing these things launch with huge market caps. Now, how are they doing? How is this brand new shitcoin launching out with, we have $1 million market cap. This is amazing.
Well, it's, first, Bass Crypto, yes, you are absolutely allowed to ask questions.
Yes, please do.
But that's part of what we do here is, the educational, the updates on the markets, things like that, and, little tidbit learnings about investing. But yeah, to answer your question, Serenity, market cap is simply token price times amount of tokens in circulation. That's it. And those tokens, it doesn't matter whether they're locked up in a wallet or a Gnosis safe, they're still going to count towards circulation. They're tokens that exist. So I could take $1 and go create a $5 trillion market cap token if I wanted to, and it would take me about a couple of minutes. So, it's not really the best indicator of a project, and honestly, people should be ignoring market cap. The only time you don't want to ignore it is if you're trading on a token and it's got like 100,000 liquidity, and then you look at the market cap is something like 10, 20, 30 million dollars, right? That means there's a lot of tokens in excess, either sitting in holder wallets, sitting in team wallets, So that's the only time you should be paying attention to market cap is it crazy high compared to the amount of liquidity?
Okay. Now, let me ask you real quick. So if, let's flip, what am I on? Coin market cap real quick. Because I need some help on this, and I'm sure other people do. So pick any one of these coins, because I see market cap right here, but I'm not seeing liquidity. How would I find the liquidity on any particular coin here?
So that's going to be a little trickier when you're on blue chips or in the top 100, because they're going to have a lot of different liquidity pools on a lot of different exchanges and decentralized exchanges. So it's going to be a little harder to go deep diving into that sort of thing, right? If you wanted to look at it, you would click on a random one.
Okay, let's go pick this guy. Axie Infinity. Wow, let's pick on them. This will be great.
It's always easy to pick on them. All right. And if you scroll down a little bit, let me see. Let me make my screen larger here so I can see what you're looking at. All right.
Okay.
So you see right there in that sheet that you're looking at, that shows you, and you can see there's 17 pages, right?
Right. Yeah.
That's 17 pages, 165 results of where that token has liquidity. And you can see the depth, you can see the volume that's trading. But yeah, what we're talking about is for more like the DeFi projects that pop up. They've got one, maybe two liquidity pools, depending on what exchange they're on, decentralized exchange specifically. So yeah, for one of those are relatively easy to see. You're just going to go to your favorite viewer, whether it's Dex Screener, whether it's PooCoin, or any one of those ones that you prefer. And you'll see on Dex Screener, I'll use that as an example because that's what a lot of people use. On the top right, you'll see that menu, right? And it will show you liquidity, full FDV, which stands for fully diluted valuation, and then market cap. And that's where you'll see the liquidity of something.
It's just whatever I pulled up. I don't even know what I'm looking at here. So, P-Bird, whatever that is. Okay, so you're talking right up here.
Yes.
Okay, that's what we need to be looking at more than just market cap.
Yeah, absolutely. You want to look at liquidity, and that's actually probably a bad example for you to grab because it has a very healthy liquidity to market cap ratio. If you look, see how the liquidity contains more depth than the entire market cap?
Right.
That means that it is a very strong base that the token has. It means that most of the tokens are actually in the liquidity pool, not in holder wallets, not in team wallets, not waiting to come dumping in out of nowhere from somewhere, right? So that's a ratio that you're not going to see. I can guarantee you that you will have to spend a lot of time looking to find a project that has a ratio like that. But let's punch in something random.
I was requested cone. Let's go see it.
Remove the $sign.
Okay.
I bet you Ferret's listening, and that's why he's asking.
Yeah. Is that it? USDC with cone?
No, because that's on the Arbitrum. He's referring to the one on where is it? That one right there.
Cone BNB? Cone
token? Yep. Because that's the one that's located on the Cone exchange. So as you can see, they have 3.4K in liquidity, which half of that is going to be extractable, meaning it's going to be half of that is WBNB, the other half is the tokens, right? That's something that's very important to remember when you're looking at liquidity. Half of that is your WBNB, the other half is the tokens. So whatever number you see in liquidity, mentally cut it in half, and that's what's actually backing the project.
Okay, so even though it has 15K market cap, everyone has what, $1,700 in liquidity of actual value?
Right.
Okay.
But what you're looking at there is approximately 9% of the market cap is supported by WBNB in the liquidity pool.
Gotcha. Okay. That makes more sense. So, no, that's great to look at. And it's great we got to see two different examples because, yeah, a lot of times we jump into these like, well, that just looks great. The market cap is huge. It's like, yeah, but look, they got no liquidity, man. It's horrible. What's going on?
Right. And that goes back to what I was saying earlier about market cap and being able to take $1 in about 5 minutes and make myself a $5 trillion market cap token.
Right.
Because it gets its price based off of what it's backed by. And that's another common misconception. No token out there, unless it's paired to something like USDC or BUSD, essentially has a price. It has an exchange rate, right? If it's paired to something like BNB, then it is exchangeable for a certain amount of BNB per token. Now, the price that's displayed is that amount of BNB times the price of BNB, right? So if you've got, I want to think of an example here. So let's say you've got 100 tokens of some project, and it says the price of each token is $1. Ignoring price impact, that means you can exchange each of those tokens for $1 worth of BNB. So it doesn't have a price; it has an exchange rate. Now, that liquidity pool is going to determine how quickly that price exchange rate goes up or down on transactions. The thinner the liquidity pool is, the more it will fluctuate based off of transactions, because that ratio will change drastically. And that ratio is what gives you the token price, i.e. the exchange rate.
Gotcha. Okay. And so, like on this example we're looking at, having such a small liquidity pool, as somebody starts to cash out, this price is just going to take a huge hit, because it's going to drain that pool because it's so shallow, right?
Right. Because you got to assume if someone sold $300 worth, right, that would essentially be, I know you look at it and you say, okay, liquidity is 3.4K, so it would be something around the neighborhood of like 8.9% price impact. But then you got to remember, half of that is tokens, so it would actually be closer to a 20% price impact if someone sold $300 worth.
Ouch. Okay. So yeah, avoid this one. Gotcha. Okay. So we had a lot of comments come through. So sorry, let me catch up real quick here.
All right.
And let's see. So Bass Crypto asks, I'm struggling on what token to buy as I have a little BNB. And now Bass, on that one, we're not financial advisors. We're going to educate, we're going to train, we're going to teach, we're going to guide, but never will I tell you should go buy this. That's my personal perception. We'll see what Cyril has to say on that. But yeah, I would never want to be accountable for your investment.
Yeah, we don't. That's not what we do here on this show. We're not going to say, hey, go buy this because I think it's going to go to the moon, blah, 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 blah. That is that's what you find crypto influencers doing. This is more of an educational platform where we teach you what to look for, what you don't want to do, mistakes and potential pitfalls, ways to better understand your investments and track your investments, and strategies and plans. Because if you're going in and you're investing without a plan, you might as well just be throwing money around willy-nilly. Not, exactly. It's like he's throwing darts, at a dartboard.
Right. Absolutely. So yeah, we're going to teach strategic investing, and we're going to try to get community's involvement and really help us decide what to invest in. So if you haven't yet, guys, jump to the Down Home Crypto Discord, cast your vote there, because the polls are open. And as you guys know, here on Rags to Riches, we always vote for what you guys decide on, or we buy what you guys vote on. There we go. Yeah, that sounds better. So, and Bass says, oh no, wait, where'd it go? Sorry, I lost my place here. Rich, how you been? Just remember me from Thor. So yes, Bass Crypto, I've been on Thor. I know a lot of us played with that, and it's a bad taste. We try not to go there too often. BTK says, pay attention to market cap so you know how much is uncirculated. Good advice there, buddy. Long time. Wow, we got a whole chatter system go there. This is great. I'm trying to get down to speed here. Not many of us left, Reggie. Okay, so of course, Cyril, I think this one's pointed all at you, buddy. You want to comment on that, my man?
Well, details on that ferret will be released when there's details to give you.
Okay, fair enough. So yes, it is coming up. There is going to be a migration. So stay tuned to the Only Burns Discord. That's where your information is going to come from. So we're going to try to scroll down and see. Cone was right along. Anything either has it. That's a great question. Fast Crypto. I think that one's pointed again at you, Mr. Cyril.
Yeah, well, again, we try not to use this platform to talk specifically about any projects, but there are things that are being done with that. You can keep up with the Discord if you're actually invested. If you're not invested, then don't worry about it. It doesn't concern you.
There you go. And Bass, same thing. Why did Oberyn move to Goss? No volume. Actually, we are going to eventually do a stream. Once that migration occurs, I'm going to bring Cyril on here as the Only Burns CEO, and we're going to focus solely on that. So do me a favor, man. Subscribe to the channel, like this video, and stay tuned because, yes, I'm going to drag Cyril in, and we're going to go all the way down the rabbit hole on what Only Burns is doing and how that affects with the Goss. So there will be a special show just for that, my man. Got you covered. Okay, so... wow, we kind of went all over there. That was fun. Now, also, sir, on the topic I was talking before, the adoption and the use case. Now, we're starting to see a whole lot of things. If you're really paying attention on the back end, and if you're living in this world, there's a lot of things happening. I mean, you've got PayPal that's talking about onboarding and offboarding now. You've got MetaMask that's talking about their snaps. I mean, you've got all these weird things that are being built. And I don't know, is it just me? Am I delusional, or are you excited for this stuff that's happening that nobody's talking about?
Yeah, I think that there has been a lot of quality of life integrations as well. I know I haven't had a chance to really dive into it yet, but I know MetaMask snaps that have come out recently. There are a lot of add-ons for MetaMask that have been approved by them. Just again, be careful, because anything that you're adding to your MetaMask extension can and will affect your wallet. So make sure it's a verified, trusted source. But that's all I'm going to say about that. But yeah, there is a lot of little adoption things occurring, from all of the Bitcoin spot ETFs that have been applied for. There's some rumors saying that there's approvals coming soon for a lot of different stuff. So, I think that, and with PayPal, operating as that on-ramp, off-ramp now with what they're putting in. I know we briefly touched on X, getting the payment processor licenses to be able to handle things like crypto payments. We're seeing adoption coming, which is going to drastically change what the next bull run looks like. We've gotten to see the effects of that a little bit in this last bull run. If you look through Bitcoin's history, and we're going to use Bitcoin as the example here because it is the grandfather of crypto, essentially. It's not the first one, but it is the grandfather of crypto. A fun little trivia fact for you guys there. Bitcoin was not the first.
Okay, what was the first? I got to interrupt.
I don't remember the name of it at this point. Bitcoin's not the first.
I got to go look that. Okay, homework assignment. What was the first? Okay, gotcha. Go ahead.
Yeah, there you go. Now, great, I lost my train of thought. Yeah, but so each time it would go on a bull run, it would be sideways, 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 shoots up, crashes back down, sideways, 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 right? And that was what we saw throughout Bitcoin's history. This most recent run was different. It was similar pattern, but it was more stretched out. So you had your meteoric price rise, but then it didn't instantly crash right away like it had in the past. It came down, went up again, this time getting a little bit past the previous peak before beginning its decline into the bear market. It's almost like it was holding on longer. There was more people buying it. There was more adoption. There was these businesses, micro strategies. Sorry, I kept wanting to say Microsoft. But all these companies that have been buying up Bitcoin and things like that is going to drastically change the amount that's in circulation. It's going to change the ratio of those liquidity pools, right? And so the less of it there is, the more price impact it receives when it is purchased or sold. Now it's a little different with Bitcoin because it does have so many liquidity pools across so many different exchanges. Wrapped Bitcoin is very prevalent on all major chains. So there's a little bit of difference there. But we are seeing the effects of that as more of it's pulled out of circulation and being stored long term, or as people are losing their keys and so it's leaving circulation. We're seeing the effects of that, and we're witnessing the effects of adoption in this last bull run. And I think moving into the next one, when adoption is even more prolific, it's going to really change the way this next bull run looks. And I'm, for one, am interested to hear what you guys think it's going to look like.
Absolutely. Yeah. Put your comments down below. What do you guys think this bull run is going to look like? I mean, yeah, because Cyril, like you're talking, looking at that chart is really screwy because you got that spike, then it drops, then it spikes. It's like, make up my mind. Is it up? Is it down? You don't know. So yeah,
it's all over the place.
It is. It's absolutely insane. But now you mentioned something. I'm really curious about this. Now, if somebody were to lose their keys to their wallet, and let's say they had some Bitcoin or something in there, does that actually remove it from circulation, or does that just sit like in a long-term hold at cold storage, or how does that work?
So technically, it's not removed from circulation. To really actually remove something from circulation, it would need to be sent to a dead wallet or utilizing a burn function within the token contract. Obviously, Bitcoin doesn't have that sort of thing, but it's essentially considered burnt when it is no longer recoverable. And it's estimated that there's a huge chunk of Bitcoin's supply that has been forever lost. You got to think, back in the day, if you were Bitcoin mining in the wee years of Bitcoin's inception, you were getting a ton of Bitcoin every day. And a lot of people, I mean, we all know the guy who bought, himself some pizza with 10,000 Bitcoin.
Right.
Back then, it was worth fractions of a cent, a couple pennies at most each. And so people didn't really put the same mindset of security and retention on their Bitcoin back then that they do now. It was more of an internet fad that they weren't really sure was going to take on or take off or become a thing. So There's a lot of lost out there.
And that makes sense. Yeah, I remember reading an article a while back about a guy in, I think it was the United Kingdom, had a hard drive with like $8 billion worth of Bitcoin or something. He threw it away, didn't rise for months. So now he's been searching for that thing for like 12 years or some stupid amount of time. Yeah, just insane. It's like, oh, can you imagine having that? It's like, oh, I just threw it away. Sorry, honey. Let's clean the closet out. Oh,
he wound up spending a ton of money to put together this team to go through the landfill, and then had to file a court case to be allowed into the landfill with his team to do the search, because the trash company was like, no, you're not coming in. That's hazardous. We don't want that liability. So he took him to court over it. He spent so much money looking for this hard drive. And at this point, I'm thinking, trash landfill, there's bound to be a lot of magnetic material in there. You really think your hard drive is still intact? Come on, dude. Stop pissing money away and just let it go. It's gone. You need to accept it and move on at this point.
Exactly. Now, had he taken all that money he spent and started buying Bitcoin every time he was going to spend money doing that, he'd probably be right back where he was, or close to it at least.
Yeah, or at least would be in the next bull run.
Yeah, exactly. Yep, I hear you. And Wild Angel says, I used the pizza Bitcoin story in one of my business papers. Nice. Yeah, that's an epic classic story right there. And, I actually went back because I know Bitcoin was originally used in a game. And I went back to all my old hard drives, my old things, like, man, maybe I played that game. Maybe I have some somewhere. So I looked back through my spreadsheets of any kind of information I could find. Never did find anything, but man, I was hoping.
Yeah, it's like this. There was this one StarCraft 2, or no, it was original StarCraft tournament. Might have been. Yeah. It was a StarCraft Brood War tournament over in Korea. And the third place consolation prize was 500 Bitcoin.
Oh, man. I'd be happy with that right now. Of course, At the time, that was next to nothing. That was fine. That's just crap.
Yeah, I think it worked out to be something like it was when they were around $1 a coin at the time. So it was like $500 worth of Bitcoin. So.
Yeah. I bet that guy right now, he probably sold it and went and bought himself some new toy or whatever. Now he's like, oh my God, I should have just let it sit. Yeah. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. And that's one of the biggest things in investing here. And I'm running into that a lot. I mean, especially with the projects just starting to pop up here and there. It's one of those, I jump in here and it's like, oh man, I should have put it over there. So I grab it from there and I take it over there. It's like, oh no, it went down. I should. And so it's a vicious cycle. So guys, please pay attention to that, because if you just bounce around, like Cyril said earlier, you don't have a plan, you're going to wreck yourself. I mean, you could go into even a horrible project, but if you run by your rules of solvency, man, you got a chance to at least get out semi-unscathed.
Absolutely. I mean, I went in with a plan last week, or the little bit, it was earlier last week, but there was a project that was getting ready to launch. I already knew, it'll probably pump when it first goes live, but then it will fall off. And so I created a plan beforehand, went in, doubled my money, sold almost at the top. It wound up going sideways and then spiked up one more time and then went down, and it's still not gotten back above where I sold, but I went in with a plan. It's the people who bought when it spiked up that last time that are now sitting there in a loss, right? You got to go in with a plan. And that's why we DCA. We talked about that last week where, our portfolio was down, I believe, with like $22 since we started. But if we had done all of those little purchases at one shot in the beginning, we'd be down closer to like $160, something like that. And that's why DCAing is so important. You build yourself a better position. You're not buying the top with your entire load. You can space it out, and it is better for you in the long run. Absolutely.
And Ferret has a great plan there. He says, I make my own cold brew at home, and the money I save I put towards Oburn. Okay. Actually, I like that plan. Ferret, I was actually working on the calculations for a video I wanted to do, and I wanted to call it the Big Mac Millionaire, because I had a thought. If somebody were to go after the first all-time high of, say, Bitcoin, and if they took their money of the cost of one Big Mac per week, instead of buying a Big Mac, if they would have went and bought Bitcoin, done that through the whole bear market, and then as it went up, they dollar cost average out, then they let it drop back down, and they did the same Big Mac challenge, and they did it again, what would they be sitting at now? Well, I checked the first one, and after the first one, after they dollar cost out, it turned, was it like $900 into $30,000 just for a Big Mac a week. That was it. And then I started going through the next one. I got distracted, but it was looking insane. By the end of the second, I was almost $400,000. And I don't even know what this next one would have taken it to, because we're not there yet. But yeah, it was literally the Big Mac challenge to be a millionaire. Wow, that's crazy.
Eat your heart out, Ronald McDonald, right?
There you go. Absolutely. So, hey, Cyril, it is about that time, my man.
Are we going to do a dance-off?
We are going to do a dance-off. So, for anybody who's new here or doesn't know what we're doing, if you go to the Down Home Crypto Discord, that's where you're going to vote for the projects. And as you know, here on Rags to Riches, you guys decide what we invest in. We're using our strategies, we're teaching, we're educating, but it's your guys' choice on what we vote on. Now, if you go in and you cast your vote, you get put in the dance-off here. And so every show, we have a dance-off. Now, for those people who voted, you have a chance to win $10 if you're the last one standing. But if I'm the last one standing right here at the bottom, I'm going to add $10 more and we're going to go again. And I will keep doing that every time I pop up. So we don't know how wild this could get. So definitely go over, cast your votes right now, and I will put a link. I know I put the link before, but I will do it again just to make sure. Here we go. And invite, copy, and copy. So yes, hop in the Discord, cast your vote. The polls are open. See, I drink ton of cold brew. Okay, that's fair. To each their own. And Rooster said, that's wild. Yeah, absolutely. And there's the Discord link, guys. So, are we ready for a dance-off?
Well, I'm still hoping for the day where it winds up being like one of those videos where they like double it and give it to the next person. And then like the content creators like crying by the end of it because they've racked up a bill of like $1.8 million. And their producers are like, all right, so how much do we owe? And
I've seen that. That was that one. I've seen that where the guy's going around, hey, here's a work bonus. Would you like to double it and give it to the next person or take it? And they already preconceived everything. It's like, oh, we're just going to keep doubling it. And so this guy goes around and then it shows him like in his office screaming and throwing things. Like, yeah, don't tell him. We're new. One day it'll be that way. I'm like, oh my God, how did I win so many dance-offs? I think that'd be epic. Tried to do that last time to the double it thing. I didn't catch on. Yeah, BTK, man, you got to catch on, brother. Okay, and we are ready for the dance-off. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Big money, no whammies. Dance, baby, dance.
Who's going to be the first one dead?
See. Sorry, brother.
And he's out.
That's right. You better dance better. Oh, Funny Toro takes a hit.
Toro's not here tonight. I haven't seen him in the chat. Oh, they're here. Sorry, John. I gotta.
Bye, dear. Sorry.
Oh, there goes Dave.
Man, all the troublemakers are down.
Oh, whoa. 3 in 1 shot. Holy cow.
Yep. Okay.
Oh.
X8 Taylor.
Let's go. Congratulations. Now remember,
X8 Taylor.
You got to shoot him a message in Discord in the next 30 minutes to claim your $10.
That's right. Yes, shoot me a DM with your wallet address and a screenshot proving this is you, X8. But I think I got you on my friends list. So, yeah, send me that over and I will get that to you, brother.
Nice.
So, yeah, I was hoping I was going to last on that one. But no, that one blade took 3 of us out. I was like, oh.
That one was out for blood. And Rooster, I see that you said you just voted. That's awesome. That means you will be in the drawing for next week's show. So be sure to stop on by.
That's right. Yes, because we end the voting Wednesday night at midnight, guys, and that way we're prepped and ready to rock. So everybody that was on there now was from last week. So everybody who votes right now, tune in next week on the, what does that make it? 21st? Yeah, 21st.
Yes.
Yes. Wild Angel says, yay, Taylor! Congrats, buddy. Okay, so, Cyril, the markets have been crazy. It doesn't know if it's up, doesn't know if it's down, doesn't know what the hell it's doing. How is that affecting our portfolio so far, my man?
Well, let's go ahead and share that screen and take a look.
Yes, please. Suspense is killing me. I must know.
Oh, no. It's killing you. Don't die.
Oh, you're not that lucky.
All right, so let's see here. Let's take a look at our P&L sheet because that's the one that matters.
Right.
So last week was week 16. We started off the week with $378.31 in our Rags to Riches portfolio. Ended the week at $372.72, leaving us with a loss of $5.59, also known as 1.5%. So we had that bit of a down week from last Thursday. There was a period of time during the week where it was up. There was a period of time where it was significantly down, and then it kind of came back up right around yesterday, I believe it was. And that's what we tend to find happening here, is that Thursday is the day that it either comes back down from where it was Wednesday or comes back up from Wednesday. So once again, we added $25 to the portfolio and leading us to start out this new week at $397.72. We can see that we are increasing our positions over the course of our show here.
Oh, shit.
Slowly working our way up.
Okay. Sorry.
Huh?
You're good.
Okay. Oh, did it glitch out?
I clicked the wrong thing. I brought up the old screen again. So yeah, sorry.
Gotcha. Yeah. So that's the status of our Rags to Riches portfolio.
Right. So not too bad. Now, like we talked about before, guys, had we put this all in at one time, we would be much further down. So the dollar cost averaging right off the bat has already saved us, even though the market doesn't know what the hell it's doing. So plan accordingly. do your dollar cost average entry. Even if somebody hands you $1,000 today, says invest, and plan it out, split it up, enter it at those daily or weekly or whatever your pattern is. But make a plan. That's what's going to save us.
Absolutely. Like I said before, we at this point, last week we would have hit right around $400 total invested. 16 weeks times 25. Yeah, $400 total invested. And we finished out the week being down $27.27 in total. Instead of being down over $160, because where we started this was like partway through the bear market, right? So even though everything has been going down and trending downwards overall, we're only down a little bit because we've been DCAing, building to our position. Some of our investments have been increasing in value while other ones have been decreasing, and we're DCAing all the time into different things that you have all voted for.
If you voted, and if you haven't voted, why not? Come on, it's free to do, and you get a chance to win some money. If nothing else, just dance off, have some fun.
Absolutely.
So, for Pew Pew says, I voted for the only project that matters after Only Bird. Good answer. I like that, Zach. Can you buy gang right now, though? It's a good question, BGK. Can you buy gang tokens right now?
Not yet, I don't think.
I don't think so, yeah. Not that I've heard. I haven't been watching the Gauss Network, but yeah, it should be happening sometime. I got a couple Pharaoh cards, so I'm hoping.
I know it's happening soon because they're waiting on me to set up the initial liquidity for GUD and USDC, but I can't do that until they finish a couple of things. So once they finish that, then I'll be able to do that, and then they'll be able to go live.
Oh, so it's all your fault. Okay, so it's all Cyril's fault. I'm innocent.
No. I'm stuck waiting on them first. Don't try to pin this.
Okay. Yeah, that's right.
I even messaged them yesterday. And I was like, what do you need me to do? And they're like, right now, nothing. Not until this, and this is finished. And I'm like, all right, cool. Message me then.
Okay. Perfect. Okay. And, BGK brought up a good point. Says, Rue, you can download the spreadsheet and use it on your own folio. Absolutely. That is great advice, BTK. And that's one thing we've talked about time and time again. Not only build a plan, but also categorize and watch your investments, because it's really easy to forget about them. And you start getting so spread out, so confused. Keep them in the 5 to 6 projects, keep track of them. And we had a huge discussion on the last Rags of Riches just about how we monitor our portfolios, what to look at up close and what to just stand back and wait for. So yes, Go to the Down Home Crypto Discord and download the spreadsheet. Absolutely.
Yep.
Okay. So shall we see whatever, real quick, Cyril, curious, what is our number one earner at this point in time? Just
at this point in time, our number one earner, let me look at our spot investments 1 second.
Here. I kept meaning to ask you that.
Yeah. So currently it's Elephant Money on BSC.
Okay. So good to know. And that could change tomorrow. We have no idea. So that's not guaranteeing anything. That's just where we stand at this moment in time. But as I've noticed in the crypto space, man, what was great last week, this week is trash, or vice versa. It's like, oh my God. So yeah, once again, beating a dead horse, make a plan, stick with it. BTK asks Serenity, what do you think the most noble animal is? For me, it's the bald eagle. I've always loved eagles. I think they're an amazing creature. That's just me personally. But I love cats too, so it's big kitties. Yeah, big kitty. Like eat the neighbor kind of kitty. Yeah, I always wanted one.
Sounds like you wanted more of like a bobcat.
Uh-huh. I actually looked into getting a bobcat or a lynx. I could get those out of Montana. And I realized they have to eat a pound of raw meat per day. That's a pricey kitty. But I just thought it'd be great. Have a big kitty, next to me in the car, driving down the road. Yappy dog next door. It's like, kitty, sick it. Like, there you go. Savannah cats. There you go. I'm all over it. Okay, Cyril, shall we see what the votes call out for this week?
Yes, let us see what the populace has decided. Okay,
and the votes are in. We've tallied them up, and the winner is... Go. So blue chips, we got BTC at a 40% win here, and we've got Only Burns at 42%.
Well, BTC is tied. It's not one.
Oh, you're right. It is Matic. My bad. I'm going to sit here quietly. I'll just look you.
So that means I have to tie break that?
Yes, you do.
All right. Well, Matic has definitely taken a hammering lately. I think the strategic move, regardless of which blue chip I break the tie with here, would be to wait about a week before we buy it. So for those of you who are not aware, FTX has been given court approval to liquidate a shit ton of crypto that they had in recovered assets. So we may see some price decline from that. I know Solana's about to get wrecked from that because that was the largest one that they held among their recovered assets. It's somewhere in the neighborhood of like, oh God, I want to say it was like 380 million worth, something like that. It was a lot. Yeah, I'd have to find the sheet for it again, but either way, it was a lot. Yeah, 300 million, Chrome said.
300 million Chrome says. Okay, yeah.
Yep. So
yeah, that's going to hurt.
Yeah, and they do have other assets. Matic was the one that they had the second most of. And they had a bunch of BTC, a bunch of ETH. So I think that we might see a bit of pain in the market, but I think that people are going to be waiting to buy that back up very shortly afterwards. If anything, they might try to sell beforehand, which would exacerbate the red. And then they're going to try to buy afterwards. So you're going to see a lot of people wallet watching. So
now BTK is saying FTX Solana is locked for a 10-year vesting. Is that accurate?
I'm not sure. I'd have to look into that.
Okay. Yeah, BTK, if you got something, I'd be curious about that one because, yeah, it means 10 years from now, we got to be worried. It's going to get ugly.
Oh, maybe 10 years from now, Solana will be dead like it should be. Sorry, I'm not a fan of Solana.
That's fair. Okay. And you know what? I've noticed that everybody has their favorite blockchains. Some love AVAX, some love BNB. I mean, everybody has their favorites for their own reasons. And we talked about this in an earlier episode. We kind of came to the conclusion it's kind of the first thing you dip your feet into and really got comfortable with tends to be the favorite. We tend to lean towards that. So it's really interesting.
Yeah, to an extent, because my first layer 2 that I dove into was Polygon, right? And for a while, it was my favorite. But ultimately, what wins me over is speed, cost of transaction, liquidity depth, and speed, right? I want everything done yesterday. I don't want to wait 30 seconds to 2, 6, 7 minutes for transactions to occur. So once I spread out a Polygon and started really getting into the Arbitrum blockchain, that one kind of became my favorite. And then BSC is my second favorite, and then Polygon, right? Okay. So
interesting. Now, this brings up the whole concept of the BHS and beta battle that happened way back in the day, where beta was so much better in quality, everything around, but BHS had the better backing, so therefore it took over. So do you see that that's going to happen in the blockchain industry where these major corporations are going to manipulate it to find their favorite instead of what might be the best or the fastest?
Well, that's why you want to pay attention to which corporation partnerships are being formed with which blockchains, right? You want to pay attention to liquidity entering the blockchain versus leaving the blockchain. Those are all things that you want to be aware of because that will help you spot a trend of potential development before it becomes something that everyone else notices.
Gotcha. Okay. No, great advice on that. And yeah, Chrome says Solana's pretty garbage. Honestly, just a good play for some gains long term. Okay. It says I'm not a huge fan of Solana. That's fair. And I haven't dealt a whole lot with Solana here and there. It's kind of hard to say. I never know what's coming around the corner, but I think we're seeing a lot of new technology evolving right now with the fractional blockchain technology and the bridging. All these different things. I think we're going to see a whole new series of layer 2 blockchains that's really going to take us next layer in the game. So I'm really excited for the next bull market. I get those confused all the time.
Bear market. What are you doing to us, man? You want double bear?
Man, it's blue light special right now. I want it to last as long as I can, so I keep piling it up.
I'll tell you what. How about we just freeze all the prices until Serenity's done buying?
Yeah, I'm good with that. Okay, we get to stop dropping.
Well, like we talked about last week, the news outlets are finally reporting on the fact that Bitcoin's price is being suppressed by the companies that are looking to launch their spot ETFs, which is something that I had mentioned several episodes prior. Hey, I think Bitcoin's price is being suppressed. And then lo and behold, last week, an article came out about it saying, yes, hey, look, they are suppressing it. Here's the proof. Maybe they're suppressing it so that you can DCA your way into a proper portfolio. They're like, you know what, this guy over here, let's move trillions of dollars back and forth between pockets just to keep the price the same.
There you go. See, what a nice community. I love it. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. Yeah, and I'm delusional too. So, okay, now we know we're going to delay a little bit because we don't know what's going on in the FTX, but out of the BTC and the Matic, what is your choice, Cyril? What are you going to break on this time?
So, it's been a while since we've added to our BTC position. I think we'll do that. BTC won last week, right?
And you're going to make me go look. Looking right now, checking. This is last week's. It popped up. Yes, BTC won last week.
Right. Okay. And I have, for everybody listening, I have not done that purchase yet because of the same reason why I'm not doing this purchase yet. So what I'll do is I'll pay attention to those wallets. And when I see that they've exited their positions, I'll go ahead and do the 2-week, so I guess $10 purchase of Rat BTC over there in our Rags to Riches wallet.
Okay, perfect. And wow, they're giving me a hard time. Serenity's in talks with the government. Shh, don't tell, Chrome, man. It's supposed to be between you and me, brother. Hey, you're not supposed to tell people that. Facepalm. Yeah, I agree. Secret psyop. Ooh, there you go. Wow. You guys thought my episode with Freaky Friday with the tinfoil hat, apparently. They're making fun of me now. I can tell. So, okay, now in DeFi, make sure I don't misspeak here. Yeah, looks like Only Burns took the trophy there with 5 votes. Okay.
Well, I am going to wait to do the purchase on that one. I have not done the purchase last week because I believe they voted for that again last week, which, guys, come on, pick something else. We got enough of that. I don't want to have to put my foot down and override you, but I will if it starts to affect the balance of our portfolio. So pick something else for next week. Okay. But I haven't done the purchase of that yet because I noticed that there was a wallet that I believe is owned by Great Finance who realized that, hey, we never used this during the first burn war when we bought it to use to vote for our project, and now they're not doing burn wars anymore, so they've started exiting their position. So once they've completed that, I will then use the 20 from last week and 20 from this week to do the purchase, and we'll get more tokens at a better price that way.
I like it. Okay. Good to know. And BTK said, I voted for paper. See? Wasn't me. Okay, BTK, you're innocent this time, buddy.
I appreciate it. I had to have a talk with BTK and John when they were over here on Saturday. Be like, yo, guys, stop it. Come on.
It's like, but man, it's the best choice. And, I can't actually argue with it from a personal investor on my side. I've put out the a couple different votes, and we even got into one that I voted for. And I said, hey, I recommend this. And we bought into it, and it wrecked. Crash and burn. Gone. So, it's going to happen. And that's part of our journey here, guys, is we're going to go through those experiences. We can't always win. And if so, because that would just take all the fun out of it. We got to have some losses and really learn from this experience because that's what we're all about here.
Yep, absolutely. And I do try to steer things a certain way. If I know, hey, this is not good, why are you guys voting for this? I'll try to steer it a certain way. Or if I see a vote for something that I know I would have to veto, like there was a vote one vote on there, I think like 3 episodes ago, where someone voted for short options on Foxify. And I'm like, that's not what you do with a small account. That's how you just lose your money, and $20 worth of equity on leverage trading, that's going to disappear if the price bumps 1 penny the wrong direction. Like, come on. This is about smart investing, not throwing money in the trash can.
Okay, so I'm going to interrupt the show. Okay, guys, don't tell Cyril I voted for Foxify just so I could watch his blood vessels go. Shh, don't tell him. Okay, we're back.
Welcome back.
Yes, I did vote for that one because I wanted to see your response. I thought it was a great educational piece that we could get into. And so, yeah, that was one of my votes. I will take full accountability for that.
Well, that makes sense, I suppose.
Well, you know what? If people aren't going to diversify and they're not going to look beyond their scope, I'm going to try to help. I'm going to coach them. And but even if it's vetoed or dismissed, that's great because it's a learning experience. That's what we're all about here. We're trying to teach and guide and learn, but not tell you what to invest in. But we want to make sure you are prepared when you go out and start looking these projects and really thinking about it. Is that a wise choice? So, yes, I will do that from time to time just to have some fun.
Okay. Well, I know that Elephant Money is actually getting close to our first partial take profit point.
Ooh, perfect.
Yep.
Okay. So, and Wildane says voted for Elephant. Yes. And for the record, yeah, I put a few bucks into Elephant last week. It's like, okay, you know what? It's doing really well. I'm seeing how it's performing on Rags to Riches. I took some of my own money and I put it in Elephant. So now it's just sitting there and we'll see what it does.
There you go.
Saying it's good. Yeah, not financial advice. Never financial advice here, guys. And even the stuff we do here, I don't always invest in. So please understand, do what's right for you.
Yeah. I guess in that case, you got to kind of try before you bought. Kind
of, yeah. That's great. We're a test drive facility right here. I mean, put it on Rags to Riches. Let us do it. And if it starts working out, it's like, okay, now it's safe to go in. Or if we go in and it wrecks, like, wow, that was a bad idea. Good thing I didn't get that one.
Well, that's why we DCA. And Chrome, yeah, LB probably did just forget about that wallet. I know the reason why he didn't do his voting is because he was on a plane when right before the voting was ending, and so he missed it and forgot about it, and then probably forgot about the wallet, and then remembered he had the wallet and started DCAing his way out.
Well, at least he's DCing out instead of just crash burn.
Yeah. Doesn't have a whole lot, so I think like before he even started selling, it was $2.5 billion of the Oburn, but I think he's down to like 1.8 now, something like that, a little under that, 1.7 something.
Okay.
So he's on his way out.
So for me personally, as an investor, if I'm a believer in Oburn, sounds like it might be something worth watching. And as he sells out, I buy up, and he sells out, I buy. I might have to think about that. Talk to the wife about that one.
I'd wait until his wallet's empty personally and then do that.
Good point. Okay.
Because you already know that he's very clearly DCAing his way out. So I would just wait until he's done and then go for it. But
good advice. I like that. BTK says, yeah, Elephant is cool. I put a few bucks in. Yeah, it is going pretty well. I've only been in there a few days, but yeah, we'll see how it goes. Time will tell. Just hot dog money. There you go. See, and that's what I'm all about, BTK, is you don't have to jump in here and be rich. You don't have to invest thousands or hundreds even. $10, $20, price of a couple pizzas, whatever. But do something. Don't just sit on the sidelines and wait for something to happen. Because then you're going to look back and go, you know, I shoulda, coulda, woulda back then. I would be doing awesome right now.
Yeah, well, it's all about DCAing. You know, that's the most important part. I mean, since the start of August, Elephant's up, 79% since the beginning of August. Yeah. So, you know, beginning of September is a little different. Let me see, what's that at? Measure. Let's see, September 1st. There we go. So now, 14.37% is what it's up. So you got to remember, though, on that project, it's 10% buy tax, 10% sell tax. So you got to be up at least 20% before you start being in profit. So our position of rags to riches needs to be up 45% before we would have that 25% first take profit part. But we did start buying elephant money, and I can't remember if it was at the beginning of August. I think it was a little bit before the beginning of August. That was when we did our first buy. I'd have to look at the transaction log, but that's why we have a transaction log.
That's right. So. Know your investments. Absolutely. So, XA Taylor, welcome. Glad you're here. That's okay. You're late. It's recorded. You can go back and rewatch it. Have some fun. And check out the dance off.
Taylor, make sure you check out the dance off and send Serenity a message on Discord in the next 4 minutes because you won it.
Yes, you did. I was seeing if anybody was going to tell him or not.
I told him because he was here. Okay, he's here. He's late. He's going to rewatch it. At least let him know that he won, because if he goes to rewatch it after we're done, it's too late for him to send you a message to claim it.
Right.
And then he'd be all sad, and I don't want to be the responsible for his sadness in about another hour and a half.
Oh, and I totally blame it on you too. It's like, well, Cyril should have said something.
Right, exactly. You throw me under the bus, and I don't like being under a bus. It's kind of cramped. So
dirty, unpleasant. Smells funky too.
Yeah.
So yes, Taylor, shoot me a DM, buddy, in Discord, and I will get you your $10 you won tonight. And thank you for voting. I really appreciate it, brother. John Rick says, "Damn, I missed out. Had to have to rewatch." John, it was a great show. Definitely go rewatch it. And I'm sorry you did not win the dance off. So you don't have to send me a DM. Chrome says, "Damn, 70%. Yeah, 70% since August, Chrome. So it's been a pretty good hold so far. See how it goes out in the long run.
50%. So
absolutely. Woohoo! Thank you. You're welcome, buddy. My pleasure. Happy to do it, and I love giving back to the community. So it's my way to say thank you for tuning in. And you know what? As always, do me a favor, like this video, and go out and tell a friend, a family member, a coworker, something. They don't have to be college educated or rich or tech savvy. Simply have to have a desire to change their life or to follow that dream. And they too can join us on this great crypto adventure. So spread the word, guys. BTK says, "Yo, what up, my boy?" Wow, I can't even read that. Argyle Assassin? What is that?
Argyle.
Argyle, okay.
He did misspell assassin, though. So.
See, that made sense to me because, man, English is my second language. First is gibberish. Okay, so, Cyril, unless there's something else you want to cover, brother, I think that about does it for this week.
Yes, sir, indeed. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in and joining us. And I look forward to seeing you all next week. And you guys have a great one.
Thank you, everybody. Have a great weekend. Be safe. And keep an eye out. I got a couple events coming up tomorrow and also Saturday night. So check it out. Catch you guys next time. Take care.
Peace.